Welcome to Prayer, Marriage, and Family, where love lives. Come in, sit back, and buckle up for an amazing time. This train is on a non-stop trip of living, love, and laughter. Grab your favorite snack, a nice drink, and enjoy the ride. Our next stop is the power of forgiveness and forgetting. You don't need too much luggage for this ride. Here are your lovely conductors of this train. The beautiful, intelligent, and oh so elegant Rhonda. And the handsome, exceptional, and so debonair CJ.
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Prayer, Marriage, and Family with your girl, Rhonda, and your boy, CJ Jones. Oh, yes, I got a new look, y'all, today. The glasses. Welcome to the show. We're so glad that you joined us. We had a couple technical difficulties, but we got it ironed out. And so there may be a little static. Please bear with us. Welcome to Prayer, Marriage, and Family. We here. We got great topic. Our topic is powerful, um, the powerfulness of forgiveness, and the power of forgetting. The powerfulness of forgiveness and the power of forgetting. But before we get to that topic, CJ, how was your day?
My day was fully filled. It was a long weekend, but a great weekend. And what better way to jumpstart the week with a topic like this? Woo! I wish we had call-ins for this one. Cause me and my wife, we talked about this at length, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna be one of those topics where it'll be debatable, half yay, half nay. But we'll find out through your comments on what you feel about it, because we're gonna be totally transparent, and this is gonna be a good one.
It is going to be a good one. I want to know, how was your day? How was the beginning of your week? Let us know how you're doing, and let us know some of the topics that you want us to address.
Absolutely.
And just talk about it. Let's have fun while we ride on this train. Do you got your drink?
We got ours.
We got ours. Let's sip.
Indeed.
Now, we're not spilling no tea, but we sure gonna give some good tea. Amen.
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 Amen. Amen.
The power of forgiveness and the power of forgetting. This is a topic.
Absolutely.
How many of you have been hurt by family members in your relationships, your spouse, by someone in your life, and you just cannot forgive, let alone forget?
That's ooh. What Ronald just said, that's a hard pill to swallow. But in life, you can't let it eat you up. 'Cause as long as you hang on it, it will eat you up. This topic here is it's a perfect topic because there's gonna be so many different views and opinions on it.
Definitely.
The two of us,
Definitely.
we don't see it necessarily eye to eye at all. But she's taking things and trying to make me see the way it should be. But my stubborn self, I could see it, and I give her all the respect and love for that. But it's hard for me to budge. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that because, as you know, my wife does excellent research, and she looks at stuff. And hopefully, by the end of this, I'll be able to see it another way.
Well, one thing, we're going to first start off with forgiveness, because forgiveness seems to be the hardest thing that we can do as people, especially in marriages, especially sometime in family, friendships. Someone does something to you, you think this is horrible, and you just can't forgive them because they didn't say they're sorry. And what happens is it doesn't help you. But when you begin to forgive, it frees you. It actually frees you. Don't mean that the other person, what they did is
right. It was okay.
It was okay, but it gives you a certain level of freedom. And the other thing about when you talk about uh, 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 forgiveness, it makes you healthier because sometimes we hang on to things.
True.
We hanging on to what that person did to us, and they probably gone on about their life.
True.
They're not even thinking about it. Some may not really know um, what you've done or what they've done. I'm sorry, what they've done to hurt you. Now, this is one of the things CJ and I just go back and forth
Absolutely.
on, is that sometimes you allow so much,
Yeah.
and that person
Yeah.
don't know that they've done something to hurt you. And then again, they do know
Sure they do.
that they did something to hurt you, but they're not gonna say, forgive me, I was wrong. But what happens is the other person who's been hurt hangs on to that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm never gonna forgive them. I'm not gonna do it because they did me wrong. They should have known better. I'm this, I'm that. But that's not what forgiveness looks like. You have to let go and not dwell in that space.
Mm-hmm. And family, like we said, I've heard this over and over again. For me, what really hurts in this whole topic,
Mm-hmm.
if it's somebody that you just have a mutual acquaintance with or whatever, it don't bother you as much. At least I can only speak for me, as much as when your loved one does it.
Family members, yes.
Family members, close acquaintances and friends. And the thing, and Rhonda and I, we put a lot of things together, and we always say, if a person don't apologize for something they done or said, that means that they thought they was doing the right thing or they were right.
Absolutely.
And my wife has tried to take different angles to make me understand, well, such and such and such and such. I've been a hard nut to crack on this because
Yes.
I have, and it's like, how can I do that? And I've been done so wrong, and not the major or killer or nothing, but it's so wrong on so many levels. And my wife is trying to say, but babe, this is how you gotta approach it, and I need some help in seeing that.
One of the questions is, how do you let go of the hurt?
Boom.
How do you let go of the hurt?
Absolutely.
It is sometimes difficult to let go of the hurt. The first thing you do, and most of us do that when we've been hurt, is we acknowledge that we have been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is not about the other person acknowledging anything.
That's what she's trying.
It's about you acknowledging, look, I've been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I have to some kind of way work through my hurt. So first you have to acknowledge, I've been hurt. I don't care who hurt you, but there's some sort of acknowledgement that this have hurt me.
It has to be because believe it or not, that will help ease it to a degree when you acknowledge what has happened, what has taken place, and what you've done. Not that you're all set in the driver's seat to say, okay, I forgive you. Sometimes the hurt is too deep. Sometimes, it's too much. But at least for me, anyway, I guess I'm being personal. For me, acknowledge what the heck you did. Don't walk around here acting like nothing's wrong and you did nothing. That's the problem I have. But even with that, my wife tells me, but babe, this is what you have to do. And to me, I guess I'm stubborn to the point, why should I have to do anything? Because I haven't done nothing.
Well, the thing is, he has to acknowledge that he's been hurt.
Right.
We're not talking about the other
Right.
person. And then when we acknowledge that we have been hurt, we have to allow ourselves to feel. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in the hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And the other person, well, they did this. They said this to me. They did, they stepped on my foot and didn't apologize. You know what? They cursed me out and they didn't apologize. I didn't do anything. Why should I put up with this?
Right.
You are not allowing your hurt yourself to feel. You focus on what they did. Allow yourself to have that moment. You know what? I really feel hurt. I really feel hurt right now. So part of letting go, you got to say, okay, yeah, I'm really having a hard time forgiving. Now I'm acknowledging that I have that issue. Now you need to separate yourself. Separate yourself from what happened and bring yourself to who you are.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's the number one step and the most important step. Because if you can do that, That lets you know you're on your way back to I want to say normalcy, but maybe on your way back to being healthy. Because as long as you, I know for a fact, as long as you hold on to this, it'll eat at you and eat at you and eat at you. And even with that happening, still you want to hold on and just won't break. And like I said, my whole thing is, and my wife been helping me with this tremendously. Babe, why should I feel such and such or do such and such? I haven't done anything. I haven't done nothing. And she always uses scenarios and stuff. And even with that, sometimes I say, okay, I get that, but I always go back to I didn't do nothing. So I got some kind of way break that bridge. Ooh, I wish this was one where we could call it because I know we would have a lot of call-in viewers with this because I'm pretty sure everybody out there's dealt with this.
Yeah, you just have to separate the event, whatever the thing that caused it. So that is not who I am. And then we have to remember when you choose forgiveness, you choose forgiveness to realize that hey, it's for me. I choose forgiveness because it's for me. This does not excuse the other person's behavior. We're not talking about them. We're talking about you and your journey of forgiveness. You have to choose forgiveness rather than to be bitter, rather than to be upset, rather than to be mad, whether to have this hate flowing around in you, because what happens then is you. It's affecting your body. It's hurting your mental health, your physical health, everything that incorporates you where you were. Now that this hurt is there, is going to affect everything that you do, everything that you say, and then it can carry on later. Again, this does not excuse the act. This does not excuse that person of hurting you. And some people really believe I didn't do anything. Now, there are some instances where we may say and do things and we didn't know we hurt that person. But I've always said this. If in your mind you said, did I do something to hurt her or did I do something to hurt him? If you have to question in your mind, then you have to say, I need to ask for forgiveness. Because the moment we question, what did I do? Did I do something? It's like, did I do something that hurt Sally? Did I do something that hurt Jim? Did I do something that hurt CJ? And if I feel that, then I know I need to go and apologize. I may not know what it is. Only he can say it. And I may feel what I said or what I did wasn't harsh. But he did. I cannot invalidate how he feels. And so many times on this road of forgiveness and forgetting is we want to invalidate someone's feelings. And we cannot invalidate their feelings. That's their feelings. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but we should not invalidate. If that person said, you know what, when you said that I was too overweight, that hurt my feelings. Now they might have meant it in jest and just, having fun. But you have to allow, wait a minute, that really hurt my feeling because I'm struggling with my weight. And for you to say that, it made me feel a certain type of way. And so they may not have meant it in the way that you take it, but I still can't invalidate that the way that person feels.
Yeah, I want to take a couple of steps back because she'll tell you this was always the biggest thing for me. She tried to explain to me or try to get me to look at that. You need to forgive yourself. I struggle with that. Still kind of do, but I have a better insight. Because when she said that, I said, forgive myself? What am I going to forgive myself for? I didn't do anything. What have I done that I'm supposed to say? To forgive myself and my pea brain, I'm thinking, this fool, she's the one who burnt me, whatever. Or got, so I couldn't grasp hold to that. It took me a while. I'm getting better, but she'll tell you I'm still not all the way there with this topic we on because I'm a type of person. Once I've been done wrong, it takes me a minute to come back. It takes me, and sometimes I might not even come back. But I'm really call myself a pretty much on the even kill about a lot of things. But once you wrong me, or wrong my family, that takes on, for me, a whole new different element of life. And I have a real problem in letting go of stuff. I do.
I'm gonna give you something that happened to me. This happened to me. I was going into my senior year in high school, and I had this young man to stalk me, and he wanted me to date him, and I wasn't interested in dating him. I wasn't interested in dating nobody at that school but one person, but I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested in dating him, and so he would stand outside when I was practicing for track. He would stand outside, watch me on the track field, watch me on whatever field I was on. Then he would wait for me after school, follow me to school in his car. Then he would pull over, block the driveway, and say, "Hey, don't you want to ride? Can I take you home?" I was like, "No, I don't need a ride from you." And this was a known gang member at the time, and I thought, hey, this is, I'm not going to deal with this. You told my parents, maybe they thought it was a little schoolboy crush. And let me say this, parents, when your daughters come to you and somebody's following them, really research it and find out about it. Because sometimes it's really true. All young women and young men are not lying. So I'm going on with my story. So one day after track practice, I was sitting on the bench behind the gym, and he got on campus and sitting on top of the top seat of the bench, and I walked across the bench. So I looked up and I called, his name that I knew him by. And when I tripped, he punched me in my face. I was knocked unconscious for a while, and the school, everybody came, took me to the hospital, so forth, so on. Fast forward to that, I felt so much disdain for this person. And I would often say, what if he had daughters? How would he feel what he did to me? And he never acknowledged it, and the police never caught him. He got caught later, and he didn't get caught for that crime he did to me, but he got caught for the other crimes. And I held on to that for some time. And so I finally found out that he was now ministering, teaching Bible study, and doing all these things. And I wrote him a long letter, and I told him that I forgave him for what he did to me. Therefore, it freed me from taking this into my future. Because I could have taken that into my future and said, this is what men do. And I wrote him a long letter. He never responded, which I didn't think he would. Um, but I let him know, I know what you did, and it hurt me. And I did say, what if you had daughters? What would you have done to the person that done that to your daughter? From that time that I wrote that letter, it have not bothered me one bit, because I let it go, and I had to get the place to say, okay, I'm not going to carry this any longer. It's not good for me. It's not good for me. And it gave me just a bad thought about abuse. Guys that do certain things, don't allow it. Um, and not that I allowed it. This was something that he was just had in his mind that he was going to do. And so that was one incident. And then I remember another incident. I was in school, younger, and I went to this certain school, and the wanted to fight. And one young lady, we were supposed to be fighting, but then all her friends jumped in. And I was in the fourth grade, I think, fourth or fifth grade. And another time at Crenshaw, I think I was in 11th grade, and I seen this young lady walk down the hall, and I thought, oh, that's that girl. Okay, I got her. I got her. And I walked up to her. Now, mind you, I was never a bully. I didn't walk around picking on people, but I held that so long for years. I told her, I said, you got one day to leave this school. And I was serious. You beat me up, well, yeah, you're not gonna get it with you and your friends. And I had to let it go because I wasn't that person she was probably a different person. And sometimes you do things when you're younger uh, that you don't understand. That does not negate. That does not mean that the person should not acknowledge what they have done. In the case of the young man that attacked me and stalked me, um, I don't think he ever will say that he did anything. But to me, it's okay because I'm not taking that into my future. So it gave me a freedom. So when you forgive, it gives you the freedom not to hang on to certain incidents in your life. And sometimes I tell CJ, there's a certain incident that happens in my family, and I said, well, something's happened when we do things when people are young, and then they grow and their life is going in another direction instead of a positive direction. They remember the person that was there to protect them. And so then when that person is no longer there, they have their own family and they're doing what they do for their family, that person feel left out. And I said, sometimes we have to recognize in some instances we are part of whatever that anger is. If you can have a conversation or say, you know what, I might have did that, but it didn't, that doesn't justify no one cursing me out, calling me names. No, it does not justify it, but you have to get to the root of the anger.
And that's another, yeah, that's another element of this discussion that we're on opposite ends about. And it's amazing because we pretty much in sync on a lot of things. Not that we agree on everything, but you know, it's easy for us to come to a medium. Yes. And a mesh. This topic here is like it's a very small buzz because I feel so strongly about things. My wife feels strongly, and being the person that she is, she tries to look for avenues to say, okay, but look at it this way. Mm-hmm. And no matter what she comes up with, some of it's good, some of it's healthy. But I always go back to, but I didn't do nothing. That's all about now. She'll come up with some stuff. I said, nope, I wasn't a part of that. Nope, I'm not. You know, so I need help. I know I do. I know what she says is to be true. It is, but yeah.
Because if you don't do it generationally, it's gonna carry on. And we had an incident. I'm gonna share.
No, go ahead.
We were doing some research with my mother in love.
Oh.
Researching her, her college years, and actually it was researching how long she's been involved with Delta
Sigma Theta.
Sigma.
Delta Sigma Theta.
Okay, Delta Sigma Theta. My tongue tied here. Delta Sigma Theta, a sorority, and we found her picture. Her graduation picture, beautiful. I wish we could have put it up. Beautiful. She graduated in 1946 from college, from Lane College. And so we wanted to give, show different people in the family this photo and give it to them because really his children and my brother-in-law children, they didn't know anything about their grandmother in her life.
In that degree, yeah.
In that degree. So y'all gonna know me. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look and search it up. So we found someone at Lane College that sent us your books. And so he said, I'm gonna send this to A, B, C, and D. I ain't sending her one. And I was like, no, you have to send her one. And in his mind, why? The way she treated me? Why? You have to send her one because if you don't, and this have happened before, that someone in the family did something for one and they didn't do anything for the other. So I said, you don't want this to carry on. I'm not saying you have to say hi to her. I'm not saying any of that. But what I am saying, send her a picture of her grandmother. Just maybe that may be a turning point in her life. Her grandmother, well-educated woman. She's part of this well-known, renowned sorority. She was very active in sports. She was very active in the clubs on the college campus, 1946. So maybe this would be an example. And he wasn't going to do it. He was just going to send it to a few. But he did send it to her. And I was proud of that because we don't want to have this generation take the dislike of what someone did to him into the next generation. And it will happen. People don't recognize if a mother dislike a lady and that daughter is around, that rubs onto that daughter. And then the daughter can carry it on to the next generation. So we want to stop this generational stuff. And so he did send it to her. How did you feel?
Mm.
How did you feel?
For truth,
For truth.
I know I did what I was supposed to do. Not against my better judgment or nothing, but a lot of times for me, and one thing my mother, who's one of the smartest people I ever known, walked to her, she always said, a person's only gonna do what you allow them to do.
Absolutely.
She lived by that.
Absolutely.
Now, did I allow for these situations to happen? I guess I did because they happened. And they still happen. So my thing is, it's got to be cut off somewhere because I don't care what nobody says, and like Rhonda says, nobody can validate the way I feel about stuff. I didn't deserve none of that, and I know I didn't. And the biggest part we're in separation on this topic is she insists on, babe, you gotta listen to me on this. It's something in the upbringing that you are doing or haven't done that got them like that. I said, no, that's a lie. I said, I haven't done nothing but love, nurture, and help raise them.
And this is what I said. There was a point where he was that father figure. And now he has his own family, he has his own children, and people was kind of, I won't say he did it on purpose. He didn't push them aside. He was doing what he was doing as a family man. But this little person over there didn't understand that. And sometimes that when we speak to adults in our family, they still are children because they still remembering how he treated when they was 3, 4, 5, 6, and all of a sudden he's married and doing what he's supposed to do. Well, where am I? And then they grow up having this childhood that's not favorable. And I told him, I said, what happened in this person's mind was you forgot all the things you was doing and showing her. She didn't understand you had a family. She didn't understand you had your own children now. But in her little young mind, what probably I can't say for sure what caused him, he's got his family, okay, but what about me? Especially when you don't have a stable home life. So I said, your part, I believe he played in it, was trying to yet include her in family things. And I understand. And he goes, no, 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 I didn't do anything. When they're young and you're an adult and the change or shift in their life and they see your children and you thriving and your children thriving, and over here they're not thriving, a child feels that. And so they would take that into the future as this has come. It has taken people into the future where other children uh, that they have will be affected. Well, why did he treat her like that? And that child don't have a clue of what happened. They're young now, but they're going off of what the parents say. So we don't want to carry these things generationally into other generations because the other generations have no clue of what happened. And I've had that happen. I'm sure a lot of us have had that happen. What happened, you have to release the things that no longer serves you.
Mm-hmm.
The person, that event or whatever it was that hurt you, you have to release it because it's not going to serve you any good. Bottom line, it's not going to serve you. What you going to get out of carrying around being unforgiving to yourself? Because you yet carrying that, it's not going to serve you any good.
And unfortunately, this topic is one of those topics. There's no real right or wrong. It's all about what you need to do, what you feel you need to do. I get that. because it's a lot of things about it with my wife I don't agree on. There's some things I do agree on about it. Um, I don't know. Maybe in another year, when I get another year older, I don't know. This topic here, like I said, I give anything. We had a call in thing because I know this would be a hotline, a hotbed. Because you know why? Everybody has dealt with it.
So at this point of the show, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with you.
This commercial is brought to you by Parsips, Pure Angel Referral Counseling Consulting Placement Services, where they listen, learn, laugh, and live with you. Go to parsips.org and receive the best services catered to your needs. Serving Inglewood and other Los Angeles County communities. Parsips, where your needs will be met.
Neon nights and the city's flow. West Coast family love, East Coast family love.
Where y'all at?
We got 30 more minutes.
This commercial is brought to you by Parsips, Pure Angel Referral Counseling Consulting Placement Services, where they listen, learn, laugh, and live with you. Go to parsips.org and receive the best services catered to your needs. Serving Inglewood and other Los Angeles County communities. Parsips, where your needs will be met.
Streets aglow. Neon nights and the city's flow. West Coast family love, East Coast family love.
This commercial is brought to you by Parsips, Pure Angel Referral Counseling Consulting Placement Services, where they listen, learn, laugh, and live with you. Go to parsips.org and receive the best services catered to your needs. Serving Inglewood and other Los Angeles County communities. Parsips, where your needs will be met.
Streets aglow. Neon nights and the city's flow. West Coast family love, East Coast family love.
I'm gonna knock the table.
We're back. Thank you for that commercial break from Parsips Pure Angel Referral Counseling Consulting Placement Services in the city of Los Angeles, Inglewood. Okay, back to our topic. So
Yep.
what I was saying, let go of those things that no longer serve you. It's not going to serve you, so don't hang on to it. Even in relationships, if he or she is not serving you, let it go. Yes, it may take a moment to let it go, but work on it. It's a process. The thing is, you have to turn your pain into prayer, then your prayer into purpose.
Mm.
So you're going to feel pain, and you may not feel like you could pray at the moment because you hurt so bad.
Right.
But now you're going to turn to prayer. And when you turn to prayer, it's going to give you the purpose and give you the strength to move forward in your life.
And you know, that's what prayer does. If you don't believe, you better believe, because
Yes.
prayer works. I know a lot of you have heard that statement and that said many times over. You look at two people who live it. Prayer works, and in this case, that's probably the best piece of advice. That is, let it turn into prayer. I've been working on it. Am I softening a little bit? I guess I am, because at one point, buddy, we wouldn't even talk about this. Wouldn't even talk about this because there was nothing that my wife could say, that the kids could say, that
Right.
anybody could say to
Right.
me about this situation. Now we can talk about it. Might not totally agree still, but at least I'm in the conversation piece. And you know what that is prayer, because At this time, you always want to protect your peace.
Oh, absolutely.
You want to protect your peace, and I think
Absolutely.
that's my growth is because, all right, you know what? Just like you said, babe, you hold on. What peace do you have? What peace of mind do you have?
None.
You're going crazy. You know,
None.
you constantly upset. You constantly don't want to be bothered, but you know what? Time and prayer heal that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is focus on you and move forward. Now, we're not saying you're forgetting. We get into that.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
you want to focus and move forward in your forgiveness. Forgiveness of yourself so that you can give yourself the peace that you need to continue on and not even talk about it to other people. Well, he hurt me, she hurt me. You'll be able to move on. Not forgetting, see, but you'll be able to move on. Now, here's the thing. People say, I forgive you. I ain't gonna forget. Now, in the tone and the manner that you say that in,
carries a lot of weight.
Carries a lot of weight.
Carries a lot of weight.
Now, if I say I've forgiven CJ, and I'm not gonna forget, that's the difference. Than saying I forgive him, I ain't forget what he did to me. Two totally different scenarios.
For the second scenario, there's no honesty and belief in that at all. That was a situation. I'll just say something he wants to hear.
Absolutely.
That's what that is.
So we're not saying when you forgive, you have to forget. It's just like if CJ was someone that I didn't know, he stole money out of my purse. I found out it was him, and then we are in the same place again. Am I going to sit my purse next to him? No. Be quiet, because I'm not going to put myself in a position again to have my money stolen. Did I forgive him? Yes. I don't have to tell him I'm not going to forget. I just make sure when I'm around, certain things changes for me.
That makes sense.
And he may not see me move my purse. He may not see that. I may not carry that much money in my purse. So forgetting is not where you just forget everything that happened to you. Because one thing about this thing, what happens to you, you can learn and grow from it. You can learn and grow from it. You'll learn good things, you learn bad things, you know what to do, what not to do. And the thing about forgetting, it doesn't erase the hurt. It's not going to erase the hurt that you felt, but it takes away the emotional grip that it has on you.
For me, out of the two statements, forgetting and forgiving, I would say for me, forgetting is the hardest part because I know before I can forgive totally, I gotta forgive, not totally forgive, but you gotta let that go. You gotta let whatever hurt you and took place go. I would say without a doubt, for me, forgetting is much harder than forgiving.
And it is.
And when you think about the wrong a person's done to you, no matter who it is, and it really scars you, you don't forget that because you don't want to get in a situation again like that.
Absolutely.
Because you've forgotten all about what took place. And and like Rhonda has told me, you might not never forget, and that's okay. That's human nature. That's human being nature. But you know what? Unless you forgive, that's the start, the healing start of forgetting. Not that you're gonna forget, but you gotta forget enough to move on.
Move on, absolutely.
Move on.
You're not gonna focus on what was done to you. You're gonna focus on what you learned from it. And that's hard. That's very hard on this road to forgiveness and forgetting. I'm not gonna focus so much on what was done. What lessons can I take from what was done? I'm not saying I would blame myself for anything, but what lessons do I take from this? What can I move on in the future and teach other young women about, being stalked and getting attacked? what can I take from this? What did I learn? What do I do? What do I not do? And it's not saying that you have done anything, because some things happen and it's not on the person. When some women are abused, it is not their fault. It's not their fault. And it's very hard to forget when someone has abused you. It's not that hard. However, it can stop you from moving into your future if you're holding on to it to the point that it messes with your mental, your physical, your mind state. So I'm not saying you just go, oh, I forgot it. I don't know what happened back then. You know. Let's live in transparency. Yes, this happened to me. I acknowledge it happened to me, but guess what? This is not going to make me, I'm not taking this into my future. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to take my pain, I'm going to pray, and I'm going to use it for my purpose.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's funny. Once again, I have to find humor in this because when this all first started, I want to look at everybody and say, don't, don't say nothing to me. Because my number one thing I used to say to them, and not really realize at the time, they loved me, was trying to help me through this. But I used to always say this: y'all can't tell me nothing didn't happen to you. That's my favorite outline. It didn't happen to you. And everyone verbatim would say, nobody's trying to say you shouldn't be upset. Nobody's trying to say that we not validating, how you feel. You have every right to feel that way. But you know what? You're gonna have to find the strength to move on. And that's why I was just stuck. I was just move on. It was a hard pill for me to swallow. Yeah. It was. And my wife can tell you that, like I said, we can laugh and talk about it now. Asked me that a year ago.
He wasn't trying to hear it.
I was.
He wasn't trying to hear it. The thing that brings you to pain, you have to use it so it no longer has the power over you.
Yeah.
You have to take your power back. Take your power back. Ladies, gents, take your power back. Don't allow nobody to disturb your peace. Don't allow nobody to come in and take what God has given to you. Turn it around. I didn't understand for a long time how a mother, it was on TV on the news, went to see this guy in jail that killed, I want to say, her daughter. In my mind back then, I was like, oh no, that's not happening. I am not going. I wouldn't do that. Oh, she's better than I am. And she was. Because she knew the power of forgiving. She knew the power of how to forget without forgetting. And that is where we have to be or get there. It is a process. It's a journey. You're not going to do it overnight. You're not going to do it, like, as they said, Rome wasn't built in a day. LA Inglewood wasn't built in a day. But it's a journey. And so when you see those women with that kind of strength to look at someone who have harmed them and have changed their life forever, then where do you get that strength from? It comes from God. He gives us the strength. And his word tells us, he's going to throw a lot of things, he's going to throw things into the sea of forgetfulness. Is he telling us to forget? Is he telling us not to remember? Is he telling, we're not God, we're human. Right. So that's going to be part of us that's always going to look back. I'm so glad that I came through that incident.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm here to share it. I'm here to tell somebody. I'm here to say, hey, ladies, now don't walk by yourself, at night. I'm here to teach some things about that. Not blaming me, because it wasn't my fault that I was walking in clear daylight, going home and coming to school. But there are things we take back from this. And we take that part that we try to forget, and we use that to move forward to teach others. It gives us power, and it weakens the person that tried to harm you. Because now they see you walking in power. They see you walking in strength. They see you walking in purpose.
Guess who's mad now?
Guess who's mad?
Right.
Oh, who do she think she is?
Right.
Who do he think he is? This happened to him, and look at him. Look at her. That's right. That's right. We are meant to walk in power and strength no matter what happens. And it's a process. Don't think I'm sitting here saying you have to do this tomorrow. It's a process. And work on those things. Work on those things. But in order to get there, you have to take your power back so it no longer have power over you.
Right.
Over you.
Right. Oh wow, this topic here we can go all night on because it's a heavy topic.
It is.
It's a very, very heavy topic, and it's been heavy for me, over the years and stuff. But trust me, as bitter as I sound now, I'm at a whole different place, and I can tolerate talking about it, and happen and there's nothing I can do about it. But as we said earlier, pray on it and keep on moving, and that's what I do basically.
One thing I often say is Black people are the most forgiving people in the world.
They are.
But we also haven't forgot what has happened to us in the past. We don't go out and try to relive that.
Right.
We try to change it. So freedom doesn't mean you have to reconcile with that person. That thing that enslaved you, make you powerless, don't mean you reconcile. That means you say, I have to forgive them for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to walk up to you and say, hey, you did me wrong and I'm going to forgive you. Some people may be led to do that, some may not. But you have to earnestly in your heart, wherever you are, say, God, I need to move past this. I need that forgiveness spirit so that I could forget and not walk into my future hanging on to whatever that thing is. It will stop you from moving to the present, and it will shape your future if you hang on to it.
Yeah.
It can shape your future. We see a lot of things on TV where, and this TV is fictional, where a woman been hurt by a man, he has done something to her, and man, they can't wait. They sit and wait for that man, and they're gonna shoot him, kill him, stab him, or whatever they're gonna do. I remember one movie with J-Lo in it. I think it was called Enough. She had enough. This man was stalking her. She had done everything she possibly could. But one thing she did, she took her power back. By her knowing what she had gone through, she changed some things in her life to take her power back. And that's what forgiveness and that's what forgetting is all about. You want your power back. You want your power back by whatever means necessary. If you say, I feel good if this person go to jail for her, for harming my family, I feel I want this person to apologize to me for cursing me out, whatever that thing is, whatever it is. Again, you got to take your pain, take it to the Lord in prayer, and move towards your purpose.
And I have a little footnote here that I want to make sure I touched on because it helped me. People, when you're dealing with hurtful things, seek support. Don't sit there and let it just fester inside you and you can't open up and talk to anybody about it. I know that happened to me, and everybody in the family, my wife included, knew how I felt about this whole situation. And I think for a while, everybody was kind of scared to even touch that subject because they knew it would set me off. They knew that. And I felt alone because every time it was talked about, it was brought back to me that you got to let that go. Why are we still talking about this? Why every time you bring that name up, this is what happens?
Walk in the room and it sucks the air out of the room.
Yeah.
Why you let someone do that to you?
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, seek support.
Definitely.
And in support, like I said, like anything else, it may not be something you want to hear or agree with, but sometimes just to get that opportunity to get it released out. At least you said it. At least that takes some of the weight off your chest, and it is helpful. Cause to this day, I don't agree with everything, but I'm better with some things than I was before.
There's a power that changes marriages and family and generation. Talk about how your event, how the circumstances around your hurt has affected you, and think about how it can affect your family moving forward. The thing about forgiveness and forgetting, it models strength. You model strength, not weakness. When you forgive and forget, it's strength and you're not weak. It aligns your heart with what God wants you to do with your purpose. Remember that the hurt doesn't get the final word. The hurt that you feel do not get the final word. Guess what does? Healing, peace, and love. That's what get the final word in your life. Remember that. The hurt don't get the final word, but healing, peace, and love will get the final word, and you can move forward in the future with your generation and your purpose and live without all that hurt build up in you. Last word, CJ.
You know what? I have a whole lot of last words, but this, yeah, I knew this was gonna be this kind of topic for me, and we down to 9 minutes, but I'm glad we revisited it again. I get emotional one way or another behind this, but I'm better. I'm better, and somewhere in the near future, everything will be okay. Everything I'm gonna have to be because I can't let this consume my life. I'm at peace, but am I at total peace? And I'm gonna have to say no because I still have something negative content festered inside me. So I have to get better because I'm on this journey. I'm on this journey.
Like you guys on this journey with us on the prayer, marriage, and family train, your journey is going to be the same thing. You're going to go up that track and you're going to come back down that track and it's going to be different. So this is your girl, Rhonda, and your boy, CJ Jones, with prayer, marriage, and family saying good night. Have a good rest of your week, and we see you next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Coast time. Listen to the song, it'll tell you.
Thank you, family.
Thank you. Love you.
Oh, before we go.
What? Our favorite couple. Michelle and Barack Obama.
They back this
We are going to meet them sooner or later.
We feel
okay. Somebody better get the word out. They're going to hang there until we meet them. Well, they may be hanging. They're going to hang there forever anyway. But peace, love. Get on the train. Roll with us every Tuesday. Love you. Have a good week. Blessings.
Friends.